What's up, everyone? This is Variants. This is game number 5 of the After Hours Gaming League, season number 5, week number 8 match between IBM versus DotBlock. This is how we got here. DotBlock and IBM alternated wins, so this sets up game number 5. IBM sends out VDeezNuts, our Terran, and DotBlock sends their best player, Heisenzerg, a Zerg. So without much further ado, I give you ATrain and Argentower.
Alright guys, ATrain here, and we are casting the ace match in this matchup between IBM and DotBlock. The score is 2-2. It is a best of 5 series, so sending to Team IBM, their ace player will be VDeezNuts, the Terran player, and Heisenzerg from Team DotBlock. And as you can see, both players currently ranked in Diamond League, and it should be a pretty good game. The map is going to be Secret Spring, and spawning on the left is going to be Heisenzerg from DotBlock. VDeezNuts will be IBM's hero today, the Terran player, on the right part of the map. And we haven't seen VDeezNuts play too many Zergs this season. He did play one earlier. Actually lost to a strong Roach all-in. Off two base. Have not seen enough of Heisenzerg's games, but I think his playstyle is pretty standard. Throws in the occasional cheese every once in a while, as we saw in Game 3.
Unfortunately.
And I think this map will be a little bit challenging to grab the third, especially if you pick this one here at the bottom of the map or the top of the map.
Yeah, it's really hard to defend, especially against Zerg, where they can just throw all of those lings, and there's no way you can wall off any of those.
Yeah, it's very hard to wall off and secure these bases, so we might see some 2-base openers.
Yeah, one interesting thing about this map is there's the 3 paths between your opponents, and so the one at the top and the bottom are initially blocked by rocks, and then the one in the middle has the 2 sets of destructible debris, so it can be closed. So the rocks actually play a pretty significant difference in movement throughout this map.
And I actually don't think I've seen a game where both of these rocks get demolished, at least not yet in the AHGL for Team IBM. So far, standard stuff. Heisenzerg going with a hatch first opener. We do have gas from VDeezNuts to be able to get that Reaper and eventually start getting Command Center.
Yep, I think that's the way that DZ likes to play this match. This usually does Reaper right into Command Center and then Factory. So very macro style play from him. Heisenzerg, just very standard 15 hatch, 16 pool, 16 gas. So that's fairly macro oriented. I don't think there was a worker scout from either player, so they're both just in the dark here.
Yep. And both players play pretty standard, I feel, so the worker scout's not going to benefit that much. Once that Reaper comes out, VDeezNuts will be able to get all the kind of scouting information and be able to react accordingly. As you can see, he's getting ready to start his command center at his natural.
Yep, building just one Reaper and then going into Reactor. And I assume we'll see a Factory come down after that.
Yeah, so we don't have any queens yet, no Zerglings, so this one Reaper might be able to get some nice kills here. There's not really too much to defend just yet. We'll see if DZ is able to pick off anything. He's actually not going to try and get any kills. There come the Zerglings. He just wants to get scouting information.
Yeah, I think he's mainly checking the gas there to see how much gas was mined, and so he sees that it was just 100 that was mined, and actually Heisenzerg did put one drone back in gas afterwards, but so DZ knows that he'll be fairly safe here with just 100 gas mine. There's no Banelink bust or any sort of early all-in coming.
Reaper actually manages to pick off one Zergling and gets away. That micro is insane.
We do have Zergling speed on the way for Heisenzerg, leaving one drone in his gas, just getting a little trickle of gas so that he could maybe transition into something later, a little bit sooner. And we do have the Factory that is going to be switched with the Barracks Reactor, so you could start producing Hellions or Widow Mines. We do see standard Hellion opener.
You see a lot of this for Zerg nowadays.
This Hellions do a really good job against Zerglings until Roaches hit the board, or Mutalisks. So we'll have to see how Heisenzerg wants to play this out.
I'm curious when we're going to see the starport come down. If DeeZ's just going to try and do an attack with the Hellions, or if he's going for the starport as well for some sort of drop. Because I think that's a really nice move when you do the drop into the main and then the attack at the third. And usually the Zerg doesn't have a lot of units that have to try and hold a little bit that they have in both directions.
You have Hellions that do provide some map control. And there's actually no Xel'Naga watchtowers on this map, so this Overlord is going to get great scouting information. He'll be able to see everything that walks through this base, this path.
And DeeZ is going for the fast third command center, so no starport at all, just a single barrack, single factory, and right into a third command center. He hasn't scouted the third hatchery yet. In fact, he hasn't even gone to look. But yeah, I mean that puts DeeZ in a really good position, because on the 3 command centers versus 3 hatcheries, I think the Terran's a little bit ahead, and he shouldn't have to worry about too much aggression because of the quick third from the Zerg.
And we have 6 Hellions now. This is becoming a scary amount of Hellions. Only 1 Queen here to defend this, and no Spy Crawlers. So if he loses this Queen, we won't have too much to deal with these Zerg, these Hellions.
Yeah, he's got quite a few Lings out there, and his Baneling Nest is going to be finishing up here, but
a creep tumor surviving with 4 health? He picks that one off, so no more creep spread for Heisenzerg here. And those Zerglings are just getting taken out by those Hellions.
Yeah, they were able to pick off the 1 Reaper, I believe, but only 1 more Hellion falls.
Very nice micro from DeeZ. The way he wrapped around those trees in the middle to keep the Hellions from getting us around, so he always had the Hellions up against. Big drone transfer.
Oh, and there's so many drones. If he could just scout the third, but I think they went by, and he doesn't know about it. He really needs to check out this third because there were nothing but drones, and he missed a good opportunity there. And I think these Queens are going to be able to chase away the Hellions now.
He's got to go down and check for that third now, right? Right?
This could have been huge, but this could also be even bigger, coming right in the main.
Yeah, there's just one
drones being pulled off the line, and the Hellions trying to get as many drones as they can here, and picking up a good amount.
7 drones total.
Yeah.
And that could have been almost 16 drones that he could have gotten had he seen that third expansion. Yeah. That would have been really big. Let's see what he does now.
I think it's sometimes if you can move 2 Hellions in one direction, and kind of trap the drones, because you saw the Hellions could only get them from one direction. So splitting up the Hellions, if you had been able to do that, would have been able to pick up a lot more drones. But after it's all said and done, supply count's pretty even. The worker lead is slightly in favor of Zerg.
Yeah, the Zerg just added those workers. He was actually down through most of that, and then he built about 15 or 17 drones after the Hellions left, I think, to make up for the ones that he killed. So he just pulled ahead now.
And we do have the Spire on the way, so we should be transitioning into Mutalisk. Pretty standard play now. We have plenty of Marines for VDeezNuts, and not so many Banelings. I don't think any, just 5 of them.
Yeah, DeeZ's adding on barracks number 4 and 5. It looks like he's got the double engineering way down. His 1-1 is finished. He hasn't started 2-2. Stepping on the creep. Banelings don't have speed yet, but on creep it doesn't matter so much.
And wisely decides not to engage that. Widow Mines. Yeah, Widow Mines is now the transition, so we're not going to see this like Marine Marauder-ish Widow Mine composition, which I think is very strong these days against Zerg.
Yeah, and basically what DeeZ's trying to set up here is the parade style push. Stepping on creep, Banelings in every direction here.
That's some good micro there. The Baneling's not doing a good job of connecting on those units.
Yeah, really no connections at all there.
They might have hit a Marauder, I think. And he's checking the third. He sees that there's no third on that direction. Unfortunately, he hasn't scouted the bottom locations.
Baneling seed still hasn't been started. Oh, and there it goes. It's just started now. Oh, really good Baneling connection.
Widow Mine. I guess he just forgot to use them there because they didn't really do anything.
Yeah. And actually, Heisenzerg is actually trailing in the worker lead now. So while all that was going on, DZ was able to take up a significant lead, and he's actually using a lot of drones now to build buildings.
So this is not looking good for VDeezNuts here. We have the Mutalisks about to come out here.
I think he's actually going to be fine because he's got his saturation on 3 bases now, and so he's set up for that parade-style push where he's going to have 9 barracks here. So he'll be able to build Marines 15 or 16 at a time with Widow Mines and Medevacs to support as well. So yeah, he's got a couple of Marines to defend against the Mutas at each base, and he's going to be pushing at the same time.
There's just so many Banelings and Zerglings, and with no turrets, they can just, those Mutalisks can walk right in their space.
Yeah, too many Banelings there. He'll have to pull back. I mean, there's only 5 Mutalisks right now. Yeah, 6 Mutalisks on the map. So Heisenzerg, he's gone up to 4 bases. He's not quite saturated the gas on his 4th, but that's nice. When you get 4 bases and you get the 8 gas, that's when you can really get your hive tech going and either go up to Ultras or Broodlords or whatever.
And you also don't see this very often, guys. A Terran player that actually has a higher APM than his Zerg opponent. 250 to 180.
Finally borrowing the Widow Mine. Nice split against the Baneling. Wow, that was really well done actually. Second wave of Baneling.
Those Banelings eating up those Marines like nothing.
Yeah. And the Mutalisk ball is going to get a little bit stronger. Here comes the attack on the 3rd base.
And this is what I'm talking about. These Mutalisks are going to come right in here. I guess they can't do too much with that bunker, but if he hits that natural... Okay, DD sees that, so he's got those Marines there at his natural.
Yep, and not getting many turrets or any turrets at all. He's just relying on Marines. He's got some turrets going down at his 4th base that he just secured, and it's going to be a planetary fortress which will be really effective in defending this huge area.
I feel like even if he had 1 or 2 Widow Mines at either one of these expansions, that would be good enough, instead of keeping the Marines there.
I think the Marines are fine actually, because especially his +3 on the Marines is halfway.
Oh, true.
Done. And +3 Marines versus 0 armor Mutalisks. The Mutalisks just die instantly.
Yep. How far are we along in those upgrades?
The +3 attack for the Terran's going to finish in about 100 seconds.
So VDeezNuts now pressuring the 4th base, gets some Widow Mines down. Are they able to get some shots? Ooh, nice job there by Heisenzerg. Getting them before they burrow. Does wisely move away. We have just units streaming all over the map. And going to test that 3rd, but that planetary fortress is going to be way too strong. Are these Banelings going to engage this?
Well, again, easily walking on the creep right in the middle of everything. Those units are going to get cleaned up, but it pulls the Zerg army back, so now I think he set himself up nicely for a push at this 4th. That's some nice connections with those Widow Mines.
Yeah, he took about 5 of them out.
That 4th base is going to melt. 3-3, +3 attack is going to kick in 4 seconds. The last fight of Zerg Rock.
So much damage being done with the thing.
Well, the problem is the Zerg can't build a lead on this army supply. He has to forfeit the Baneling, so
Right.
he really needs to keep that Mutalisk and ball up as high as he can.
Yeah, so now we've got the Terran's got his 3, almost his 3-3 about to finish. 3-3 hasn't even been started for the Zerg, and in fact, I don't think his Hive's even been started, so he's basically going to be playing at an upgrade disadvantage for the rest of this game. He's trying to transition to Sword mode, which is an interesting choice to buy.
Those Widow Mines just connect with that whole army right there, taking out everything. He really needs to get down these storm hooks, though. Okay, nice.
The This one Widow Mine won't be totally charged, but we got more Widow Mines and more Marines on the way. A couple Marauders mixed in as well. As you can see, just so many units being streamed across the map. And VDeezNuts doing a very good job of his unit positioning as well.
Yeah, and if you look at the map now, it's a raid style push. A line of blue streaming towards the Zerg fort.
And Heisenzerg trying to cut off the army, but it just continues to march in, and there's a huge army advantage here for VDeezNuts.
Here comes a big connect. Maybe not.
Oh, such great Marine splits for these units.
Yeah, he's almost splitting the units individually when it comes down to it.
Takes down that base, and Heisenzerg is in some trouble now.
Yep, 20 drones died in that, and I think this might be it. The Zerg he's trying to build 42 wings, but against the 3-3 infantry, that's not going to be much.
And the problem is VDeezNuts is actually building a bank behind this all. He's maxed out in supply, and he's still building up his bank.
Yeah, it looks like this army from the Terran might get cleaned up, but I don't think it matters.
There's so many barracks producing units. I think VDeezNuts has played this very well, and this might be the end. He has twice the supply, and there's just too many Marines and Marauders coming in.
Yeah, and VDeezNuts is trying to take his fifth base in the middle of all this as well.
He is completely mined out at one of his bases, so he does need to transfer some workers over. But he does have enough bank to buy him time until he gets there.
Supply is now 100 there.
Oh, and the last Mutalist is about to fall, so there now is no Mutalist, and he's really struggling. One Swarm Host, he's got 55 drones and a few Banelings. This is just too much, and there is the good game. Heisenzerg calls it.
Team IBM!
Team IBM will take the match against DotBlock. An exciting 5-game series. Well played.
Incredible APM. What the hell? Look at that. 264 versus 200. What are these guys doing with their fingers? They are playing 3 times as fast as me.
Alright guys, I think I'm gonna go.